Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you may be joining us in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are so excited to talk a little bit about the state of New York. Before we get into the details, wanted to give a couple of quick introductions. My name is Tracy Toothaker. I'm the Director of Recruiting here at Worldwide Health Staff Solutions, and I'm joined by my partner, Tyson.
Hi, good to meet you, everybody. And this is my name is Tyson Winters. I'm a recruiter here at Worldwide Health Staff Solutions. Been with the company for about 3 years now, and just so excited to speak with you guys on the opportunity in New York. So, in the state of New York, some things we wanted to cover today are a few different locations. But first, we want to talk about New York as a state as a whole. So a few big cities and places that you might have heard of is, of course, New York City. That's probably the most popular. Everyone's heard of New York City. That is one of the biggest cities in the country at 8.5 million. Then there's Buffalo. Buffalo, New York, it has about 270,000 people, with Rochester coming up with 210. Yonkers is 210,000, and then Syracuse is also 145,000. So those are some large cities in the state of New York that we wanted to share with you today. Also, we're going to go into more detail on two specific cities, so excited about that. The seasons of New York. So the 4 seasons, what the weather looks like. In the summers, we like to see it's between 70 to 85. It doesn't get crazy hot in the summers, which is really nice. I'm from Arizona, and so it gets really, really hot. I know hot. So it is very nice weather in the state of New York, year round, I'd say. Fall is at 45 to 70 degrees, winter 20 to 40 degrees, and you will see some snow in the state of New York. Spring is 45 to 65 degrees. So some things that the state of New York is known for. Obviously, New York City, like I said, the largest U.S. city, known for culture and opportunity and a top destination for nurses with world-class hospitals. I actually had the opportunity to live in New York City for about a year. Great area, lots of culture. Definitely one of the most expensive cities in the country, but very, very cool to visit, especially. Niagara Falls, one of the world's most famous natural wonders, located in the border of Canada. It's very neat. I've been there once. Very cool. I highly recommend visiting it if you do come to the U.S. The Adirondacks and the Catskills, so popular for hiking, camping, skiing, and lakeside relaxation. So for all of you outdoors folks, this is a great opportunity to get out there, and there's some very pretty sights. The Empire State Building and the Statue of Liberty, those are located in the middle of New York City, and then also right outside on Battery Island. You can look out to see the Statue of Liberty. There's the iconic American symbols attracting millions of visitors every single year. And then the upstate charm. So the quaint towns, farmlands, wineries, and outdoor recreation throughout central and northern New York. So starting with Buffalo, New York, what we wanted to talk to you with today is one of them is Buffalo. It's Upper New York. Top reasons to live in Buffalo: cost-effective living. It's definitely a lot cheaper than, let's say, New York City. Scenic waterfront and outdoor activities. Renowned culinary the scene. There's lots of food there. I've been to Buffalo once. Lots of food, great food. Welcoming and tight-knit community, passionate sports scene, historical charm and architectural beauty. A little side note on that: New York is very old. I believe they actually joined the Union when they ratified the U.S. Constitution in 1788. They're a lot older than that. So there's a lot of, if you love history, New York's the place to be. Growing job market and economic revival, in close proximity to Niagara Falls and Canada. Some quick stats about Buffalo. Their population is just right above 250,000 people. Unemployment kind of meets the national average at a 4.0. The median house price, the home price, is $132,000. The median age there is right around the middle of like 33, 34 years of age. Temperatures average anywhere from 56 degrees to 40 is a low. That's the yearly high and low averages. Your average monthly rent, like I said, again, it's going to be a lot cheaper than some big cities in the US. It's going to be $1,400 a month. And then your average commute time in Buffalo, they say is about 19.6, about 20 minutes of commute time. It does rain there, but wonderful weather. Like I said, 40.4 inches of annual rainfall. And then there is a airport in Buffalo. So that's exciting. So that's a little bit about Buffalo. Next, we want to talk to you about Olean, New York. So Olean is like Buffalo, even smaller towns. So this is a small town feel. Some things that you should know about Olean: it's cost-effective living. Like I said, it's also this is actually Olean is a little bit cheaper than Buffalo, so we keep going on the cheap scale. So this is great. I always say that you want to find a place that is affordable for you and your family and very safe and family friendly. And Olean and Buffalo are just two of the greatest in New York. So excited to talk to you about that. So Olean is cost-effective living, beautiful natural surroundings. Again, if you're an outdoors person, they have abundance of outdoor activities. Also tight-knit and supportive community, excellent educational opportunities. If you have children, or yourself, you want to continue your education, there's educational opportunities, varied job market and career growth, vibrant downtown and local charm, and safe and peaceful atmosphere. So very safe on the crime rate. The city population is almost 14,000. So it's a very small town. But like I said, those small towns do provide a lot of safety. Tight-knit communities are a plus, and then affordable cost of living, especially. That unemployment rate is very similar. It's 1.4. The median household price, the home price, is a little bit under the other one. This is 87,000. I believe that's a little bit cheaper than Buffalo. The median age range is 38.9. The average temperatures are the same here as well. It's 56 to 40 degrees yearly. And then the average monthly rent is the same of $1,400. The average commute time is a little bit quicker, so it's 15.8 minutes. Rainfall is the same with 40.4 inches. And then there is also another airport nearby. So
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tyson, for those fun facts from both of those locations. One quick call out. I think we had maybe a slight typo on one of the slides. I think the medium home price was around $150K for Buffalo, and then around $130 for Olean. But still, in comparison to its very close, bustling neighbored city, New York City, definitely very affordable. So I think one thing to mention on this slide that we wanted to highlight is that we are partnering with Kaleida Health and helping identify nurses for them. And so hence the reason to highlight both Buffalo and Olean. We have opportunities at those two locations for Kaleida Health. So if you are interested in learning more, please feel free to apply directly to our site, and we will get you in touch with a recruiter to discuss those specific opportunities. But very excited to partner with Kaleida. Fun fact, I guess this isn't really a fun fact for me, given the most recent NFL week we had, but I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Carolina Panthers played the Buffalo Bills on Sunday in an NFL game, and they're really good. They crushed us. So way to go, Buffalo. Okay. All right. So next, we'll talk a little bit more just about the specific requirements from a licensure standpoint for New York City. I know that several of you watching are probably familiar with some of the requirements, but wanted to highlight the things that are necessary for a New York licensure state, or a state of New York licensure requirements, and then any kind of the English language test specifications. And so as you can see here, everything that's listed is not not required necessarily. So you, as you are working towards coming to the U.S. and working through your licensure and making sure you have all of the specific requirements, you do not need a social security number. Don't need your U.S. license, not any fingerprinting. A credentials evaluation is not required. I always like to still recommend getting some credentialing evaluation. That always helps, just in case there's any roadblocks along the way, moves things along a little bit faster. That could possibly delay some things for evaluation. But New York does not participate in the licensure compact, and then the English proficiency test is not required. So just wanted to go over some of those specifics. And of course, if you do decide to apply and interview and start your journey to the United States, we have an entire licensure team that will be there to assist every step of the way to talk through these specifics. Okay, so living in New York, obviously we talked a little bit about housing and affordability in comparison to New York City, but just wanted to call out some specific cost comparisons for housing, transportation, and cost of living overall. So as you can see here, I know this slide might be a little difficult, but we also did some comparison to another large city in the United States, San Francisco, California. And as you can tell, extremely affordable in the counties and areas in which we will be partnering specifically with Kaleida for, but also just in general to help you kind of understand what costs look like. So, the housing dynamic, there are apartments and historic homes in cities like Buffalo and Rochester. Also, another fun fact, I actually lived in Rochester, New York for about a year and a half when I was 18 months old. So that doesn't really do us any good for having context for this particular webinar, but I was there. I can claim it in some fashion. A lot of suburban neighborhoods, family-friendly communities, lots of lakeside and countryside properties, especially in upstate New York, like Tyson mentioned. People vacation regularly to these areas, and they're beautiful, they're stunning. So definitely a great place to visit. Transportation in these particular cities of New York, most people rely on vehicles for commuting. I know we attribute New York City to, a very densely populated metropolitan city, and there's subways and cabs and buses. And so while there are options like public transit in these cities, they're not going to look the same as they would in New York City. So something to be aware of. Obviously, the closer into the cities that you get, the more options that you will have. But for these two cities, largely vehicles are used for commuting. And then probably a bigger call out here are families in Buffalo spend about $9,100 a month. In the county in which Olean is settled in, they spend about $8,100 a month. So as you can tell, extremely lower than San Francisco. Now, granted, that's on the west side of the country, but stark comparison to an almost $20,000 a month. So very affordable living life in New York. And as you can see, even childcare is a fraction of what it is in some of the more densely populated cities, and healthcare too, remains pretty consistent. Obviously, that's a little bit more standardized across the board. So awesome. Okay. And then just, for your knowledge, if you have any dependents that are going to be coming with you to the United States that will be interested in looking for work while they are here, there are several opportunities for them in New York. Anything from healthcare support roles, education and childcare opportunities, administrative and office support, retail, customer service, food service, technology and IT support, manufacturing and production, transportation and delivery. I think specifically, in some of the more suburban areas of New York, definitely you'll see some manufacturing and production, and also, some of the food service industry. There's even some farming that is available in the more rural areas of New York. So definitely plenty of opportunity if you plan to bring others with you. Okay, so I know we talked a lot about New York and details about both the city, the suburban areas, the rural areas. So, and then of course, highlighting who we're going to be partnering with, Kaleida Health, for various opportunities. But we would love to hear from you. So please drop your questions in the chat. Tyson and I are more than happy to answer if you have questions about New York specifically or Kaleida specifically. And I know we'll probably do another session where we highlight them in further detail, Kaleida that is, but if you have some questions, we would love to hear from you. And in the meantime, let's take a look and see who is joining us from where. Yeah, Tyson, go ahead.
We have Youssef from Saudi Arabia, some call outs here. Frida from Kenya, Nadim from Pakistan. We got L'Oreal from South Africa. Lots of
Very
different
nice.
places. I feel like, so Nadim actually has a question.
Yeah.
How to start preparing NCLEX RN exam. So great question, Nadim. You can actually go and visit either the NCLEX.com. It goes over ways to start that and apply. You can also go on our Worldwide Health Staff Solutions website where there's a resource tab, and specifically there's an NCLEX page where you can learn more about the NCLEX and the process and how to do that.
Great question. Perfect. Let's see, what else?
You have Mehdi Matthew from India working in Oman.
Love it.
Sunshine watching from Kuwait. Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
All right. Irish says, good day. Do I need hospital experience? I am an NCLEX passer. Do you want to take that, Tracy?
Absolutely. Yep. So great question. All of the opportunities that we have currently are requiring at least 2 years of bedside experience in the particular unit that we are hiring for. So yes, we'll definitely need bedside nursing experience and a valid NCLEX. So once you pass your NCLEX and you have bedside nursing experience under your belt, that will qualify you for the majority of the opportunities that we support.
Hi, Irene from Kenya.
Love it. Yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. Amazing. I know we put this in the chat earlier too, but obviously if you're interested in learning more about the various opportunities we have, would love for you to apply directly on our site. We can add that link in the chat for you to go directly to, and we'll have a recruiter reach out to you very soon. Let's see. Oh, amazing. Catherine from Illinois. Welcome. Love it.
Any opportunities for Psych RN? So yes, we have many opportunities that come and go. So the thing I would recommend you do is, if you've not already applied, like Tracy said, go ahead and go on our website. You can apply online and be routed to a recruiter. If you've already applied with us, I would connect back with your recruiter and they would be able to assist you in locating any available psych opportunities that we have available.
Absolutely.
Hi, Kyle from Qatar. Got Andrew from Zimbabwe.
Amazing.
All right, here's a good question for you, Tracy. There's someone saying that they're hearing that the visa process is slowing. How many years will it take for the process? So what are we estimating the process,
Yep.
how long that takes?
Really great question. And just to call out, I'm going to answer this, but I also wanted to share that we have some really great content on both our YouTube channel and our Facebook that our president of our company, Ron Hoppy, has covered in great detail, also with the director of legal services that we have here at Worldwide Health Staff, to address the most recent visa bulletin and retrogression and what those timelines look like. And so, we are estimating that it absolutely is anywhere 24 months is what we're still estimating given the retrogression timelines. However, I absolutely encourage you to take a look at some of the other materials and resources that we've published to just talk through kind of what that looks like, the impact of where we are in the year, and some of the other items of legislation that we're hoping to get some good news about to help move that timeline along. And it's case by case, of course, but some other good webinars that we've hosted that I think would really help inform a lot of folks as far as questions go for rich aggression.
Awesome. We got another watching from the Philippines. Welcome.
Amazing.
Let's see. Kyle asking about long-term care. Again, I'd route you to your recruiter, Kyle, if you've already applied with us, or if you've not already applied, you can go ahead and do so on our website, and we would be happy to connect you with any long-term care opportunities as they come up.
Absolutely.
Adil says, when will H-1B visa be available again? Tracy?
Great question. We are all awaiting daily for various updates. So I know obviously with the news of the proclamation, there's some questions that have come of that. And so we've escalated those, both our organization and several others. I know that, there's a lot of folks out there waiting for some clarity. And so as soon as we know something, we absolutely will publish an update as far as new H-1B opportunities go. Yep. Oh, okay. Great question from Sheikh about going from a TN to an EB3. We absolutely are happy to talk to you about that, Sheikh. The timelines depend on a couple of various things, but we can assist with an adjustment of status depending on your scenario. So we'd love to connect with you and talk through that. If you haven't already, please do apply so we can get in touch and route you appropriately with letting you know kind of what those next steps look like.
We got Nestine from South Africa. Grace, do you hire occupational health and safety nurses?
Amazing.
Great question. So a lot of our opportunities vary. I'd say the majority of our employers right now are hiring for those with inpatient experience, med-surg, ICU, ED, OR. Princess, I know you asked me about OR opportunities. They are limited, so I'd keep notifying you. I know you're interested in OR. I'd recommend you apply, reach out to your recruiter, and they will give you all updates as they come up when opportunities are available.
These are great questions. Okay. Amazing. All right. So one other thing that we wanted to call out is we really appreciate everyone joining in and asking questions and also applying. We would love also for you to, if you know any other nurses or work alongside any colleagues that are interested in making their journey to the United States, we would love to assist them. So we have a refer a nurse program, and you can earn $250 for every nurse that you refer. So we'll put that link in the chat. If someone comes to mind, if you're already in the process or already working with us, but have someone in mind, we would love to reach out to them and see if we can help. Also, I know I mentioned this, when we were talking a little bit about Visa Bulletin updates, but we would love to connect with you on social media. And so if, we'll link or add our Facebook link in the chat, but we'd love to have you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. And then of course, our direct website is where you can apply. So would love to interact with you and share all of our other wonderful resources with you. And that's the best way to obtain them. Okay. All right, Tyson, thank you so much for helping host today to talk a little bit about New York. And thank you to everyone who has joined in. We would love to continue to hear from you. So please leverage the resources we put